Here's how to turn your 100,000 followers into $100,000. You see, this video was inspired by a video I've seen on Instagram. I was scrolling on Reels and I saw this creator create a video talking about how his 100,000 followers only made him $3,000 in total across, I don't know how long, a year or something like that. So it wasn't even $3,000 a month, which should be very easily attainable if you think about it, right? You have all of this attention, you just need to monetize it. By the end of this video, I'll show you the plan. I'll give you 3 steps how to monetize your audience, right? So if you have 100,000 followers, you should be able to turn it into $100,000. Not saying 100K a month, right? I'm saying 100K total. A lot of creators are starting to realize that building an audience is not the same as monetizing an audience. Building an audience is actually the easy part, right? You can very easily build a big audience. You can easily get 10K followers within a couple of months, 100K followers within a year, if you know what you're doing in terms of like how to capture attention. But monetizing your audience, that's where you need to shift your mindset a little bit, because building an audience, you're giving away free value, you're being the good creator, the good neighborhood creator who's like helping people, right? Because we want to help people, but we still want to be compensated for our help for others. And it creates this creator's paradox. That's what I call it. Where the bigger you become, the harder it becomes to monetize, because more followers equal more pressure, essentially, to give away more free value, take on crappy brand deals, because again, you still want to make something from it, right? Which can lead working with brands that don't really respect you or your time, because you don't know how to negotiate the rates or whatever. I don't take brand deals, so don't take brand deal advice from me, because if you look at the biggest brands out there, right? Gary Vee, Alex Hormozy, these people don't take brand deals, right? They create their own products. They have a service or something along the lines of that. And that should be the first thing that you should be doing as a creator. You should be offering something. You should be making more offers. You should be selling something. And I know it can be hard, because as a creator, you don't want to appear too salesy. You don't like selling. I don't like selling, right? That's why I don't sell. I make invitations. And I'll get to that in a second. But that's the main thing, right? You don't want to appear too salesy. You want to give away more free stuff. You don't want to shatter that public image, right? And what happens is that all this frustration and stress and tension builds up until you burn out, right? Then you stop creating content. You maintain the perfect image, right? And then people ask, well, what happened? Or you become a sellout, it's not a bad thing, but if you do it the wrong way, it's not the best either. So in the end, the creator's paradox, it leads you to creating somebody else's business and putting your own dream on hold, essentially. I've seen a lot of other gurus talk about this as well. Like, the trend is picking up. But what they talk about is that you need all these other skills. You need to know how to hire. You need to know how to do research. You need to know how to do all of that, like the entire skill stack. Like, it looks complicated, and they try to scare you into like, oh, I need to do all of these things. I don't know how to do it, so I'll pay this person 10K or whatever. The thing is that you don't need any of that stuff, or you don't need to know how to market well. You don't need to know a lot about marketing and sales. The more you know can actually hurt you. So the first step is actually crafting an offer that people want. Because as a creator, you already have a set of skills, right? You already know how to build an audience. Number one, you probably create content about something that you have some interest in, a skill in, right? Something that's different from what most people do out there. Right? You could be a fitness creator. You could be teaching people how to clean the house. I've seen creators like that. They tidy their home in a certain way. You could be an architect or whatever, right? It doesn't matter. You're creating content about something that you already have a passion, a skill in, right? Maybe you're a business owner. Like, when you're a business owner, it's a lot easier to make money because you already have an offer. And this offer that you create, it shouldn't be something like a low-ticket digital product, a low-ticket community. I think greatest offers fall under 3 categories, which is coaching, consulting, and mentorship. Right? Mentorship is essentially showing people the things that you've done. Consulting is like, here's how I would do the thing. And coaching is building that relationship and helping people essentially finding the answers themselves. That's why I believe that the easiest offer to sell right now is literally selling mentorship. Because as a creator, you build an audience talking about the things that you enjoy the most or you have interested in. You got some sort of result, and that's why people follow you, right? So step 1 is that you craft your offer, and then you just make more offers. You tell people that I have this thing, would you like it? It's simple as that. Number 2 might sound a bit scary at first, but you need to change the content strategy. Because right now, people actually expect you to give them free value. They expect you to give the recipe to whatever you do. Imagine you're a restaurant, right? Right now, you're probably giving away good meals, but you're also giving away the recipe to those meals. Whereas a really good restaurant, that whatever you want to call it, Michelin 5-star experience type of thing, they let you taste the food, but they're not going to give you the recipes, right? They're not going to let you cook your own food. So by doing this, you essentially switch from your friendly neighborhood content creator to an actual expert who's respected by their audience. I find that a lot of times the audience doesn't really respect you as a creator because you're responding to all their DMs, you're responding to all the comments, you're answering questions all the time. There is, I'd say, a time and a place for that. However, you can't be doing that all the time for one simple reason. Your time is the most valuable resource that you have. You cannot spend it just doing low leverage tasks. The goal is to find the most engaged people, meaning that you need to build a newsletter, a community of some sort, a free community. Be more direct in Instagram stories. On Instagram stories is the place where you nurture your audience. Your reels and your feed posts are essentially getting new eyeballs, right? It's like free advertising. You're creating content for people that don't know you, and then they find you through that content, right? And then you nurture them. You create that interest and more of a desire to know more about what you do and how you do it. The thing is that your main content already works, right? You've built an audience, right? So you just need to double down on the conversion mechanisms, meaning that Google has done research where they analyzed what it takes for a person, a stranger, to become a customer, right? And they came to this conclusion, people call it now 7-11-4 rule, which means that a person needs to consume 7 hours of content across 11 touch points on 4 different platforms. How much content do people need to consume to get to 7 hours threshold when you're creating 60-second reels? That's a lot of content. That's why I always recommend, start posting more Instagram stories, right? You deepen the relationships. It's a different touch point. And in a way, it's a different platform because people engage differently with reels and stories. And if you want to take it to the next level, you can start a newsletter, a free community, or even a low paid community. And then on top of that, YouTube videos. Why do you think I'm making these YouTube videos? Is because I can expand more on the topics that I talk about in my reels. So how do you put it all together and implement it? Well, the easiest way to start is by just creating a simple Instagram story, or sending out a simple email if you already have an email list, or if you already have a community, just make an announcement in the community. Just tell people that you're looking for 5 people who want to get a certain result, whatever result you're promising, and make it easy to start. I call this a weekly pricing magic. Instead of saying that there's going to be $1,500 to work with you, just say it's $100 a week for 16 weeks. And then you can, on the back end, surprise them with the $1,500 payment. And with this rather simple system, you don't need growth operators. You don't need low ticket digital products. You don't need brand deals or trade time for money, like one-time coaching thing for $150 an hour. The only things that you need is an expertise or a skill or something, some sort of result that you got, and package it correctly. Then you just need a system that builds the relationship and educates your audience further on their problems, which naturally leads to your solution. Realize one thing, that people don't buy information, they buy transformations. And finally, realize that influence without income, without monetizing it the way that works for you the best, that creates stress. And, it's not fun. It's not fun to be stressed about something that you put a lot of energy in and not getting the exact returns that you want. I believe that business should be fun and it shouldn't be stressful. I'm not saying that it should be easy, but it should be simple. And if you want my help to get you from where you are right now to dollar per follower or even more, down below you can find a link to my Instagram and just DM it the word YouTube, and we'll see if you're a good fit.